Yeah, so that's when I started working for Beyonce.
What was your life like? What was your role when you were working with her and her team?
So I was the digital marketing manager.
Very cool.
So I was there for 5 years. Yeah.
Wow.
But, with a team like that, you get pulled into everything.
Everything.
So I was doing this and doing that. Like I would even have to do things such as like model her looks for her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like I would like all these beautiful costumes would come in and designers would send their stuff and I would just be like,
Wow.
like I was just so obsessed with the clothes.
Yeah.
Like they were just stunning. So, just being part of that process made me, you just see so many different designs and inspirations. So that was always cool.
Things that ended up being like iconic moments.
Yeah, definitely.
what I'm
Stuff
saying?
she wore on tour, stuff like or video shoots,
Right.
stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was great,
That's
the
crazy.
experience. I met lifelong friends that, from working there. So
Hey you, welcome to Shades of Content, a show that teaches entrepreneurs how to effectively use content to market their business and stay content while doing it. I'm your host, Patrice, a wife, a mom of 3, and a 15-year public relations and marketing professional who decided to open a brick and mortar content studio 4 years ago. And I honestly haven't looked back since. Join me as I share my experiences and the experiences of other entrepreneurs who, like me, are navigating this maze of owning a business, running a family, and trying to stay sane and healthy while doing it. I'll tell you, it's an amazingly challenging journey, but I honestly wouldn't have it any other way. See you soon. Hey there. Are you a content mompreneur? Or better yet, are you a content mompreneur? What does that mean? That means you're a mom who owns a business and is on a journey to seek contentment in your professional and personal life. If that fits you, because that is definitely me, then you need to get your Content Mompreneur checklist. Tap the link in the show notes to see exactly where you are in your journey of contentment. It's something that I am just really starting to hone in on and focus on, because the bottom line is we have to be able to find that level of peaceful satisfaction, peaceful happiness through all of our life changes. And I'm on a journey to find that for myself, and I actually want to help you find it too. So tap the link in the show notes to take your Content Mompreneur checklist, and then shoot me an email or a DM to let me know where you stand and all of that. Here's the rest of the episode. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Shades of Content. You guys already know I'm your host, Patrice Camo, and this show is the show that teaches Black millennial mompreneurs, specifically, how to use content to market their business, but also how to stay content while doing it in this journey of having 3 kids, being married, working. I started a new situation about a month ago. Still running my business, still creating content regularly for this show, which I love so much. It can get really hard and really hectic. And if you've noticed, we are in a whole different place right now because I'm in Miami. Because I said to myself, I needed to get TF out of Dodge. I just needed a weekend to myself. I had planned to do this momcation 2 weeks ago, but my sister had a baby. Yes, my niece Erin is here. So, of course, I wanted to be home for that. But baby E is 2 weeks, so I got away for it just for a couple days. It's also the holiday weekend. So before we get into the show, because I know y'all are probably like, wait a minute, who is this person sitting next to Patrice? So I don't want to belabor that too much, but you know how it goes. Make sure you rate and review the show on any of the podcast platforms that you're listening to. So it doesn't take much. Click rating, leave a review. Just let me know how these things are going. Like, do you like the show? Am I talking about what you want to talk about? Also, make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube page. If you remember, one of the goals for 2022 is to reach 1,000 subscribers. And I checked this morning and we're at 620. I'm doing it the organic, real way. I might have to just go ahead and pay for
No. You
keep
got
it
this.
keep it real. Okay. Thanks, Am. Anyway, guys, that was a perfect segue into our guest. Amber Glaspie is here. Hi, friend.
Hi.
You guys, me and Amber go. So I took some notes on my phone to kind of think about how long we've known each other.
I know, a long time.
Long time through all of our different
phases of life.
So me and Amber worked together at Pentagon City at the Gap.
Yeah, I think we were 16.
Yes, we were. We were in like 11th, 12th grade.
Yeah.
We were in 12th grade. And that store doesn't exist anymore, which is crazy.
Weird.
It's like a rug store or something. Like a Oriental rug store.
That was such a weird transition. When I saw that, I was like,
What in the... Like my son says, what the what? So yeah, we met there. And I think we reconnected after college.
I think so.
That's all a blur
I think
to
right
me.
after college.
Yeah, because you were in New York.
Yeah.
So whenever we were like around or in the same city, we would link up, always have fun, always, talk offline, checking in on each other.
Always.
And I'm just so proud of you.
I'm proud of you too.
Amber is, and I think you guys will get this through the episode, Amber is one of the sweetest, just sweet, fun, gentle souls.
Sweet.
And I'm just happy that we're still connected. So, you know what I'm saying?
Me too.
Tell the people, kind of what it is that you're doing now, and then I definitely want to kind of back up with how you got there.
Okay. So now I'm the founder of Elia Vintage, which is an online vintage shop through Instagram. Really, I started it on Instagram a few years ago, and yeah, that's been what I've been up to, and I plan on expanding that. I have some ideas and have had ideas, for the past few years. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, and yeah,
that's been quite a ride. I feel like we're gonna get into it.
Yeah.
So you're in LA now.
Yeah.
You're based in LA. Actually, you're in Miami because you're a new auntie now, too.
Yes. Bloom.
That's so sweet. Our nieces, first nieces, right?
Yeah.
Are about 2.5 months apart.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy seeing, like, our little siblings.
I know. It's so cute.
It's so cute, right?
Cute. Yeah, but I'm here. Yeah. So I might actually, like, be bi-coastal now because I like, I like it here a lot, too.
Yeah, you give Miami vibes.
Yeah, I like it. It's, it's different than L.A., but it's like, it's kind of with all the cities you love. They kind of have their own little thing that makes them special, so.
Definitely. So after living in Maryland, you went to a high school very close to mine. You went right to New York?
Yeah.
Okay. And tell me, like, were you there for I don't honestly know why you
Yeah,
moved to
so
New York.
I went to school in New York, and right after New York, I moved back to D.C. for like a year or so. And then I was like, I got to get back to New York. So I moved back to New York, and then I worked at MTV.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, MTV Network. So I worked in their strategic development department, and like, it was cool. It was fine. So that was my first job, like, outside of school. Yeah, and then,
Yeah, okay, so you're in New York, and so I don't know if I was living in New York.
No, I think you moved. I think you moved back when I
moved
came.
Back. That's right.
Yeah,
Slipping.
Yeah.
I had moved back, but Nikita was there.
Nikita was there.
She was there. So it's also funny, like, our friends, my friend groups. Our friend groups kind of like,
over.
They crossed
without us even knowing.
Without even knowing.
It was going to happen,
But that made life so much easier because when we would travel, we'd be like, oh, we can all go because everybody knew each other. And that just kind of works when you all cool-ass people.
Yeah, just all very even-toned.
Like
people.
Solid. You know what I'm saying?
There's no drama. There's no weird stuff. Like, I don't get when people,
I don't get, say it. We don't get when people are weird and can't just roll with the flow, get along.
Yeah, we
love
just
each
like,
other.
we just want to have fun and like appreciate each other.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, so you go from MTV to working.
Yeah, so that's when I started working for Beyonce.
What was your life like? What was your role when you were working with her and her team?
So I was the digital marketing manager.
Very cool.
So I was there for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. But you know, with a team like that, you know, you get pulled into everything.
Everything.
So I was doing this and doing that. Like I would even have to do things such as like model her looks for her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like I would like all these beautiful costumes would come in and designers would send their stuff and I would just be like, oh,
Wow.
like I was just so obsessed with the clothes.
Yeah.
Like they were just stunning. So, you know, just being part of that process made me, you know, you just see so many different designs and inspirations. So that was always cool.
Things that ended up being like iconic moments.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm
stuff
saying?
she wore on tour, you know, stuff like, or video shoots,
Right.
stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was great, you know,
crazy.
the experience. You know, I met lifelong friends that, you know, from working there. So,
I think when I look at like the world that we live in now, and y'all know I always like to, I compare not from a judgment standpoint, but because we're our age, we saw life pre-social
yeah.
and life post-social.
Yeah.
And this takes nothing from it because you've built a very serious business using social. Me too. Like people use my business to do things for social, right? So it's not coming from that place. But one thing that I've always respected about the Parkwood crew, right, is the excellence, the attention to excellence, and everything is very thoughtfully, strategically planned out. It's a machine, but
Yeah.
the other piece of that is how it's just all you see is the amazing work, right? Like, and I'll be honest, like I was a little nervous asking about that because it's just such a respectful culture for the work.
Yeah.
Right? And we live in an area now where it's all about the behind the scenes and you got to see this and you got to know I'm here and I'm going to hear.
Yeah.
And I just always, and not to say I'm not that sometimes too, that's something I kind of go back and forth with because I do like to protect stuff. But there's just this very like priceless element to keeping things tight.
Yeah.
And that's what I just always love that. And I think also you could very well be, and we're going to talk about Elia Vintage, and you guys can click on the link in the show notes. Elia Vintage is not your face. It's your body. Like it's not your body, but it's the garment. You know what I'm saying? And so I respect the fact that you being someone who is clearly stunning, like you could be a model. I know you probably get annoyed with hearing stuff like that, but I'm just saying as a friend, like you could very well be, look at me, but you're not that. And I just, that's a very, that, I don't know, we lose that now as we get into the whole.
Yeah, I've never been that, and I didn't grow up seeing that. So I'm more so like when me and my family are together, we'll be like huddled in a corner somewhere. You know what I mean? Like you can always find like me and my sisters huddled in a corner because we're just like kind of like to stay out the hype and you know be with people that we're close to.
Exactly.
So
exactly. All right, so you go from working for arguably the greatest entertainer of all time, being a part of that team on many levels.
Yeah.
And then where are you?
So then I left there after 5 years. I just felt like I needed a change. I felt like I just needed a total revamp. I'd always wanted to work in fashion, but I never wanted like some of the stuff that came with it, like you hear of like them being a little nasty in the fashion industry sometimes. And this is stuff more so I was hearing like back in the day.
Right.
So I was like, well, you know, I already can't deal with obnoxious personalities. So I don't want to enter into a situation either I'm going to walk out or like
Yeah, don't
get
set
into
yourself
it.
up. You already
Right.
know who you are.
So anyway, so I left there and went to a company called Noah Clothing.
Okay.
It's the director. Well, he was the previous director of Supreme.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
so he left and started his own company, and it's doing awesome now. So I went there after Parkwood.
Gotcha.
And then I was there for about a year, and then I'm trying to think. Then I decided I wanted to move to LA.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so give me a year. When did you move to LA? You were definitely there. The last time we hung in LA, it was 2016.
I think I had just moved there. I think I moved there like 2016.
Gotcha. That was so fun.
Yeah. So I just felt like New York, I'd been there for almost 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just time for a change, just on many levels. I just needed a change, a fresh start, and good weather.
Absolutely. That's the biggest thing for me. I used to say I wanted to move to LA. I don't know how I feel about it now, but I know, and I've said this on the show before, I know within 3 years, I want to own a property in South Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to my sister about that. Yeah, because I need the weather. I need the sun. I need the heat. Like, I think those are things that are just so, like, healing.
Yes.
So, I think you should do it.
I agree. So I'm curious. So again, a lot of our viewers, listeners are business owners.
Mm-hmm.
They're women, they're Black women, they're in our age range, probably 35 and up.
Mm-hmm.
They have amazing ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they know how to execute, sometimes they don't. They're using content to build this for the most part, right? Like I had camps pages, Instagram pages before we even had a space because it was about building community.
Right.
And that's something that you have clearly done with Elia Vintage. So I'd love to know like what that process was for you to start this company, because I also remember just seeing it and I'm like, oh shit, Amber, wow. Like, and again, there was no pomp and circumstance. There was none of the extra that we see so much of. It was just beautiful garments modeled in a very specific way that I've seen so many other companies do now, which is fine, right? The highest I forget, the highest level of to inspire is to inspire, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good.
Yeah.
But I do want to know how that all came to be.
So
also, guys, I don't know the answers to these questions.
No,
we've never had these
about
conversations. Yeah.
So I was living in LA. I was doing some digital marketing work, and I don't know. I just kept feeling like I keep on putting myself in this environment, and this is not where my head is or my heart is of what I want to be doing. So it's not working, even though I'm working for like, cool companies or whatever. It's not like I'm just kind of mentally checked out from it. So, I mean, I feel like I hardly know the answer to how I started this whole thing. I think, it was just very, very organic. I think I just had the idea. I've always vintage shopped.
Right.
Personally, it's a love of mine and always has been.
Yeah.
All of my years in New York, anytime I travel in the country, outside of the country, I'm sourcing for myself even before I started this. So I think one day, I just had like some really cool things, and I started a page and I started posting stuff, and I started like I was trying to figure out how I wanted to market it, because I wanted it to be very organic. I had the idea of what type of audience I wanted. I wanted a very mixed audience, and I'm saying mixed in regards to the fashiony girls who are like really know how to dress, to people who are seeing this like, oh my God, like I would love to know how to wear that like that. So, I wanted all of that, and I wanted a combination. So I would market to like, I would follow, like I would post cute stuff, and then I would follow like, the kind of fashiony chicks and I knew that, like, you know, fashiony chicks, like, I really appreciate style and love style. So if a vintage page is going to follow me, most likely I'm going to click on it to see what the stuff looks like. So I was, you know, I was kind of playing the game, and, you know, not playing the game, but just playing the marketing game. So I marketed very organically in that way. And then, you know, I just started getting traction. And so when the traction kind of increased, I kind of increased what I was doing. So I was like, hardly sleeping, because I was just, you know, always, you know, up at night and doing this. And, you know, I just wanted to kind of push it, because if I knew the support was there, I wanted to try to, you know, increase the visibility and just, you know, kind of, you know, get it really popping. So,
yeah. I mean, that's a gem, because it's the consistency game is one thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, it shows that it works.
Yeah,
and
if
if you give the people what they want, preaching to the choir, because I'd be like, oh, I don't feel like it. But if you give the people what they want, they're going to keep coming back for more, and just keep spending money and keep spending money. Did you like make it an official business off the gate, or did you wait like until you actually saw that it was going to be something to go to the to create the website, to like get all that structural stuff
because
done?
Initially I was selling directly off of Instagram, and it got to the point where the demand was there. I couldn't do that anymore. I kind of had to create a site. So I had to create a site so that I could post more items at once. So I started off with just Instagram, and then once I saw that it was, you know, the audience was growing and growing and growing, I then started the official website.
Got it. But like, again, every picture looks the same except the garment changes. The background may change, but it's you know exactly what you're going to get when you go to the Elia Vintage page. And it's actually it looks like it's very organic to your brand, just the Amber brand, right? But like, what does that look like? So are you like going, you're sourcing on a Monday, you're trying everything on a Tuesday, taking pictures? What is that? Is it a process?
It can be a process, but sometimes it's not. It just depends on the process that week.
Gotcha.
Or that day. You know, I could be sourcing. I could go to like an estate sale and source. So it just depends. And sometimes I find cool stuff. Sometimes I don't. And that's fine.
Right.
Yeah, it's just about, you know, if it inspires me in any way, I think that, you know, it'll inspire my audience.
Gotcha. Are you the type of person that can stick to, like, I used to try to, we're going to do it on this day, we're going to shoot on that day, but I can't do that anymore.
I know, it's so hard.
Yeah.
I try,
Same.
but then, you know, things change.
Yep.
And I just try to keep myself within some type of a loose schedule. And it allows me to kind of interchange what I need to do within the first like 3 days of the week.
Yeah. If I don't feel it, and I used to feel bad about it, but now if I don't feel something, I just don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, as long as it hits the deadline, which I'm always do.
Right.
But if it don't feel right, I'm turning everything off.
Yeah.
And I'm going about my day. I'm not trying to force it, because I don't know. Organic authenticity matters to me. Maybe not every. And some people sometimes say consistency is how you beat through when you're not inspired. When you, okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think we're those kind of people.
Yeah, I think, you know, things change, inspiration changes. You know, you can be completely inspired for a few months,
Absolutely.
and then have 6 months where you feel like you're trying to climb through this space. So, I mean, I think it's just allowing yourself grace to kind of go through those different times and, you know, periods in your life.
So you're sourcing, people are buying online. What are some of the other revenue models that you have for Elia?
So I work a lot with, you know, celebrity stylists, you know, providing them with like different, you know, looks, designer looks. So I work with a lot of celebrity stylists, and I'm going to be creating my own line. I know.
New hot shit. We got them exclusive, baby. That's amazing.
I know. So that'll be fun. It's something that I've been trying to work on for a while now, but yeah, I'm trying to, you know, speaking about inspiration, I'm kind of just getting back into that space. So I'm trying to like take advantage of it and, put myself in environments where I can really like get an idea of what I want this to really look like, because I'm just very particular about it.
I love that. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know the vision.
I do.
And you have
to
craft it so it's
right and authentic to me.
That's right.
Yeah, I think I've tried to create some, garments before with some, production people, and if it's just not right, it's like I can't do it.
I can't. Not just for the sake of doing it. Like
No.
I can't. Are you a one-woman show? Like, do you have a team?
I have a small team.
Okay.
I have like 2 people that help me.
Okay.
On like different coasts. So yeah.
Got it.
Yeah,
so I feel like you're living the dream, right? Like you're building a business. You build a business. It's like verified. It's official. Elia Vintage is official. Like, not to say that you have to have accolades to be official.
No, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? It's people want it. It's
right.
you've created this thing that people want, that makes people feel good, that people come back and forth for. I know I've been on the website because I'll see things that I'm like, oh, that would be so cute, and it'll be gone because these are vintage, like one of a kind pieces, right? Yeah. So you have to get it while it's hot, yeah. So you're building this thing, and now you'll have this. So seemingly things are going, everything's on the up, on up. Life happens. Help me understand how you're able to move through life, move through change, move through transitions, but still stay inspired.
Yeah.
Still be creative.
Yeah. And I think, you go through moments where you just aren't inspired. And I step away. If I need to step away from it, I do. And I just kind of give myself grace throughout this whole thing. I don't... it shouldn't feel too hard, and I think work. I work a lot. We all work a lot, but I want it to be enjoyable. Like I think I've had jobs where like at Parkwood with Beyonce, like we worked like dogs. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we worked hard, but we enjoyed each other. Exactly. Like we were all friends. We all looked out for each other. So it's just the different dynamics you're gonna go through life, and life is gonna happen, and just kind of figuring out a way when you need to take a break, when you need to step away, we need to jump on a plane.
I.e. this weekend for me. I think as we get older too, like you can't go like you used to.
No.
Physically.
Yeah, you don't want to have to. There's different ways. Sometimes it's inevitable.
Right. Sometimes you don't have a choice.
Sometimes you just don't have a choice.
Yeah.
But just kind of figuring out ways to also, get some quiet time.
What makes Amber, genuinely feel in that space? Like, what are you doing and you're just literally in your zen? You know what I'm saying? What the perfect day. What is your perfect day?
Well, I sit outside a lot.
Okay.
I take when I'm working, I take breaks and I'll just sit outside. So I'm in nature a lot. So even if I'm not making it to the beach, either in LA or Miami, I'm just outside.
Yeah.
She's
outside.
I'm just outside with no one else around.
Yeah.
Just enjoying, the sun, enjoying the weather, enjoying the breeze. Just kind of having those moments really help bring me down and kind of level me out. So that's why it's just important for me to be in warm weather.
I agree. I can't, I really want to live in warm weather when DC's cold. Yeah. Because it's just not conducive. And so now, in the summertime, I can get up, go for my run.
Right.
I can go for a walk, but now it's getting colder.
Yeah.
And it's okay, because I still need it. You know what I'm saying?
And you want it, and I mean, at the end of the day, the sun does something for you.
It's vitamin D. It's healing. The sun has, like you said earlier.
Healing.
Absolutely.
So I just find myself, outside, just enjoying. I don't even have to be doing anything, just sitting outside.
What has becoming an aunt Like, how has that changed you? I was like, you just seem,
so
you
cute.
just, yeah, you can tell, like, you just get so all warm and
Yeah.
cuddly. Like, how has that changed? Even like your
mean,
whole family dynamic,
Yeah, like it's
new
just,
life.
you know, my mom passed away last year, and it's just been so difficult for us. So her coming at this point was like life changing, life saving for us. So it's so it's more than, it's deeper than like just her coming into our lives. It's when she did. So she's been a huge blessing to us and my sisters, and that's another time I feel the most like at peace, with my sisters too, because kind of we're in this thing together and we really lean on each other. We're protective of each other. We're maternal towards each other.
Right.
So just kind of being with them, being around them, talking to them, is what I need. Yeah.
Yeah, it's deep. I think me and my sister, so we're 15 years apart. So it's just like a different dynamic because I was long gone when she came up. But now she's older, and it's so funny that she's now a mom too. She's in a relationship. We just have much different conversations now.
Yeah.
And one thing I try not to do is to like, I'm always coming from love. It's always coming from love. Right?
Always.
Never judgment, always love. Just sharing because when I was 23, I didn't have someone to tell me like what they went through. You know what I'm saying? It was like figuring that shit out yourself.
Right.
Sis. But now I can tell her, da, da, da. And this was even before. Like, I remember when she was like 14, I'll be like, girl.
Right.
So, just now that she's older, I'm going on a tangent, but I talked to her. I called her on Thursday. Long story short, my parents be judgmental, like a little bit like, you don't do it this way, you don't do it that way. So I just called her like, listen, sis, at the end of the day, you're raising your baby how you want to raise your baby. And that's okay. I'm going to support it, whatever. And know that the suggestions you get are always coming from a place of love. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they just come out differently, but it's just a beautiful thing to watch her and to be a part of her village.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been nice.
Okay, so we have a new line coming up, or
I'm kind of in the beginning process of kind of getting my ideas together. But yeah,
will it
I'm
have
still
a
trying
vintage
to
vibe to it, or can you say?
I think it'll be in a similar silhouettes and kind of inspiration of the type of vintage that I sell. Yeah. Well, and which is like kind of like how I kind of.
That's how you dress. Yeah, that's literally, you are, everybody can't, it's not on everybody to build brands that are true to them. That's not everybody's job. God doesn't give that to everyone. Like sometimes your job is to create the remote.
Right.
Like, you understand what I'm saying? But sometimes, and especially now, like, we're able to create things that are very authentic to who we are. And I just think that is such an amazing thing to be able to do.
Yeah, it is.
As Black women who probably we have in my opinion, the most impactful voices that people tend to want to keep quiet.
Yeah.
But the fact that so many of us are able to build things that look just like us. When we were designing camp, I wanted it to look exactly like that. Like, I was like, I want it to look like somewhere I would live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we can do that. Yeah, and that's just a beautiful thing that I don't take for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't take that for granted because that was not always the case.
Yeah.
No,
I feel you.
Okay. You're thinking about being bi-coastal?
Yeah, I'm thinking about being bi-coastal. Just to be close to the baby. Yeah. I can still work here. So just kind of going back and forth a little bit.
I love it.
Yeah.
Who has better vintage? New York, Miami, or LA?
It's just different.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it just
It's just different,
depends.
yeah.
Sometimes it can be those random little cities somewhere that you could find something cool. So, I just try to get out of the state that I live in as much as possible
Right.
too. So just to see what's out there.
I can dig it. Now, this is on the spot. If you could give one piece of advice to someone who wants to launch some type of online product boutique, what would that piece of advice be?
Well, it might be just a few small things.
That's fine. We'll take it all. They want it all, girlfriend.
I think it's important to be very detail oriented, clean, just very tight
Yeah.
with whatever you're marketing. I think that's another really important characteristic I learned from Parkwood because Beyonce as a person is just very
Yeah.
locked in. So it teaches everyone around her to be very particular, very on point. So in marketing my brand, I knew what I needed to do to visually be compelling to the customer. And I think it's important because, this is what everyone's doing. They're scrolling,
Yep.
they're looking, they're scrolling, they're looking. And things that you're interested in, it's going to catch your eye, but it also has to be a particular picture a lot of times to really catch your eye.
Yeah.
So I think in regards to, clothing, it's just important to really, be a little extra about it. Make sure, the setup is clean and, precise and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And y'all need to hear that from her because I would not have been able to give you that advice. Because I'd be like, just put it on. I don't care. Amber, this was so good, y'all. It's pouring down rain right now. I don't know if y'all heard the thunder, but it is pouring down
loud.
rain. And all I want to do is go back to my hotel and go to sleep because my husband, he asked me, he was like, did you get 8 hours of sleep last night? And I was like, nope.
Oh, no.
I woke up at 5 o'clock.
Oh, me too. I wake up at 5
Me
no matter
too.
which coast I'm
Me
on, which is
too.
really weird.
That is weird.
I know. I wake up at 5.
Don't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Body's like, girl, it's my body. The body knows the time.
Yeah.
So no, this was so amazing. I love you.
I love you too.
All of Amber's information is linked in the show notes, but can you please tell our audience how they can connect with you and Elia Vintage?
Sure. So I am at Elia Vintage on Instagram. If you have any questions or, comments or are interested in anything in regards to the page, you can DM me there, or I'm available at Amber at Elia Vintage also.
Oh, that's so sweet of you.
Yeah.
You're such a good girl. I love you. All right, guys, that's it for this week. Episode 92. We only got 8 more to episode 100, which is on my birthday. All
special.
Divine alignment.
Oh,
when I
that's
counted
so
it out, and I've told
special.
this story before, when I counted it out, 100 literally was on my birthday.
Oh my
so, yeah, it's
gosh.
kind of crazy.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Am.
Thank you for having me.
Y'all make sure you rate and review. If you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube, do that as well. All the info you need is in the show notes. And if you know you need to, kind of spruce up your look, you're looking for some vintage pieces to give you just kind of a different vibe, check out Elia Vintage. Now, you have to be quick because I'm telling you, it waits for no one, but it's worth it. And even if that is not your vibe, Amber is just, like I said, the people that I keep, we might not talk all the time, but when we talk, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
We connect. It's always love. I love you.
I love
I'm
you
always
too.
here for you.
Thank you.
And I hope y'all are forging relationships. I'm going on a tangent a little bit. I hope you're also forging relationships with people who mean something to you.
Yeah.
Like, I do believe in the whole reason, season, lifetime thing, but I also know sometimes we kind of just lose touch and purposely don't keep up with, some people, and because of ego or whatever. But, I challenge you to put that to the side. And if it's somebody you want to reach out to, you haven't talked to in a while for whatever reason, just reach out to them. Love. That's all we need. So
Yeah, for
have
sure.
a great weekend, and I will see y'all next Friday. All right, now, y'all, don't forget to connect with Shades of Content on Instagram at Shades of Content, and with me, Patrice Camo, at Patrice Camo. And also be sure to rate this show, leave a review, and subscribe, because that's actually the only way that we're going to grow. I'll see you next week.